Adeshimama Onyunu Adjo Edremu Nsemodo Yabobo ano live on United Television ena yede esomo senyumenu nsiakase bo ne yentene fisabre kopim don sochi yemfa Nsemodo ekoso ewo man Ghana mu emfa ensomo ye live ewo social media platform na ne fa eye Facebook meche enimu krata no obehuni ye eye United Television UTV Ghana afenso wonam DSTV channel no so ye channel 360 obedi achi ede afriho ensemhodo a yede somwe edoso nemom yeje ahoden e de free special ice mineral water supapa ye kroje wonom a eboa no etimi sese wapomoden afeyes kaka wo se wo sika se mu hyehye de eye best point savings and loans sika krabia ba ko ya na ewudu sika to ada hia dem wo hwe na oba obosia nit fufu ene onuanom nyina so ewo dwaso ya na wajibi wan ene special drinks no ewo honkoda na biesku ya na wajibi ahye on bagim na beda masechi enyumakoya damenti ena ne onyejubre edi no nsia bremu kase no esomwo ensem no edos nanso emu ene animu bi ene Ghana mampeni His Excellency John Dramani Mahama achese ekwan bi aso no wogina musa asundwe bekoso woboko ene oman Ghana ntwiaso bia
Omai Photo Sanfonso and awarded ato Ghana Armed Forces enim say akade bi omuhia na omo ama bambo agya national by na aye kwado say wode bema wo mu
afensi ebedi sikasemu enkomo ene wonyujubre we akasebo eso Bank of Ghana and for Securities and Exchange Commission wo mutu aramombi eye de ya
na oswafo a wo hwe enuane ene kwayo ensem so edinani akiremu ewokpon irrigation project a ewo ho no eno no akacha contractor ne se emoa bi ohia bia no aban ede besom wo mu
yenim sa ye wo opepon busu mi mu ene ne de etoso adienu emiensa twede ampo nyankopon ya adoma ne de etoso aduasa ba ko NPP amanyoko delegate to aba eyi kendifo Dr. Brian Champo wa pue mantem waye bibi na ye de important ya
afutu akwa ama MPP delegate no ese baby a yedu no amanyo a wo mo eye na mo yi obi a obekura franka ama manyuko no enya atem didie wei ene nsenkaya hodo a enanwumwe yede ba besom se UTV anwumwe no nsia kase anuanom a obeti yen kamedi maame akosia etona mene
nana ama ano tifo
afi ensem no nchiremu eni
ma yesha se enfri Ghana Mampeni His Excellency John Dramani Mahama asweye na mampeni kasa se omai Ghana se ye ya to aba editumi no amano no wo tu na namo sa de se ne fata na sundwe bua no yehwehwe brano no yensa etumi aka mampeni se ni titiu ewo eye boko ensensem no emu wo de sanse mi gina atodwa wo brekra wo hye wo mai Ghana yebo no aboya no ho ba se wo bebrebu mu ya chance no ya sundwe no eye nhweso e de mama ahodo bia nti ontoto na se.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana's security environment remains generally peaceful, notwithstanding isolated pockets of insecurity and conflict in areas such as Boko, Alabanyo, Nkonya, Nkwanta, and Nantong. In a sub-region facing complex and evolving security challenges, Ghana continues to be a beacon of stability and democratic resilience. This enviable position is attributable in no small measure to the professionalism, discipline, and sacrifice of the men and women of the Ghana Armed Forces in the execution of your constitutional mandate, that is defending our territorial integrity, supporting the civil authority, providing humanitarian assistance, and contributing to national development. In this regard, I wish to commend the collective efforts of the armed forces under Operation Gongong and Operation Maidaburi in Boko and its environs. Peace and security are the bedrock of development, and your professional conduct during these operations has significantly contributed to the relative calm we are witnessing in these areas today. Your restraint, your discipline, and adherence to the highest standard of military professionalism deserve the nation's most profound admiration. Let me assure you that government remains fully committed to consolidating these gains and will continue to work closely with the security services, traditional authorities, and local communities to secure lasting peace in Boko and throughout the other affected areas. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Ghana Armed Forces continues to play a vital role in international peacekeeping, even as global dynamics continue to evolve. The current financial and logistical challenges facing the United Nations have led to significant drawdowns in peacekeeping operations worldwide. I've been informed that 247 personnel deployed to southern Lebanon were repatriated just 2 months after deployment, while another 217 personnel earmarked for South Sudan were stood down after pre-deployment training. An additional 77 personnel are scheduled to be repatriated from South Sudan later this month. Also, given the possible closure of UNIFIL by December 2026, the government is fully aware of the implications. I've therefore directed that all affected personnel be prioritized for future peacekeeping deployments. At the same time, the Military High Command is undertaking a strategic review to position the Ghana Armed Forces in a post-UN peacekeeping environment.
Fotosanfo Dr. Keso Atoba Forcing wono ena osan hwe akire ema asoya ehwe bambo ensem so eno ena wode ato Ghana Armed Forces enim se aban no aye krado se omasetire mu bekoyie baabi a wo mo ebeda omapomudin eho nsem ena fentiti a wose wo mudi omo efamu no se de be obi a owo Ghana Armed Forces mu eho betono no wose aban no aye krado se obeye ediamom afei enema bi a ebeboa ama Ghana ene oman bambo nsem ejina krado no aban no aye krado se wode be mo wo mo.
The ministry will also strengthen institutional capacity and align defense priorities with emerging security challenges within our borders and the sub-region. The well-being of our men and women in uniform is of paramount importance to the President Mohammed's administration, and as such, we will continue to take steps to improve personnel welfare and living standards. And as a result, the government has given significant attention to address the issues of accommodation, healthcare, training, career progression, and the general welfare. These will enhance morale, professionalism, and operational effectiveness across the Ghana Armed Forces. Government recognizes that the welfare extends beyond serving personnel to retirees and veterans who dedicated the prime of their lives to the service of our dear nation. In this regard, the concerns of the 1995 and 1996 year group and the overage retirees are receiving serious government attention through constructive engagement aimed at fair, compassionate, and sustainable solution. To His Excellency, the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, for honoring this occasion with his presence. Under his guidance, Mr. President, under your guidance, our nation continues to enjoy peace and steady progress across all sectors. Your economic reset and good governance continue to anchor the happiness and hope of the Ghanaian people. Mr. President, your leadership inspires Ghana Armed Forces to work for a secure, stable, and a prosperous Ghana. We deeply appreciate your unwavering support and guidance, which continues to strengthen cooperation and professionalism across the ministry and the Ghana Armed Forces. As we gather to celebrate and reflect our achievement, permit me to acknowledge the sacrifice and invaluable contribution of our gallant service personnel. Through their dedication and resilience, our country continues to stand strong and united in the face of internal and external challenges. I want to use this opportunity to reassure our men and women in uniform and the people of Ghana that the Ministry of Defense will provide strategic policy guidance to keep the Ghana Armed Forces responsive, modern, and operational ready.
And Jumedie bi akoso ewo Bank Square ya eno ewo nkranpopune mantamase na Bank of Ghana ena afei Securities and Exchange Commission empanifo eto anamon bi ya wa hye ya wodo wo man Ghana yentwa so ya brano won dwumedie nso no ya na eka de boa ehwe aman yofo empanifo ene won sika semu enhyehye ena afei omamu na de hye nso no sika kra bia wo kra won sika ewo ho ene sa so eni nyina no ono wo maka abom na wada dwumedie bi edi aye friend sem National Virtual Asset Literacy initiative assembly a wanyina yesesesei enkrofo edi sikasemu dwa ewone abefo ntentane so na sikasemu dwa no ebetise sa bitcoin ene cryptocurrencies no sika free mu ba na sei na abeye no a ohun konkodi mu ebrebe na abehunu se ni se wuye bie ebrebe na abete ase ehunu se woye no we de ye fan emrada ho na mra so kra ebata ene abefo ntentane so sikasemu dwa die no wote ase na de du anamo a odi tu anamo se eno ena ama omudi se adwumade we aba se obegina so e de acheche Ghana for na nei kofo sika nkonkrofo ho.
Nap Valley is therefore anchored on a simple but important principle, and that is understand before you undertake, which is positioning virtual asset literacy as the foundation for a safe digital economy. North Valley, I'm told, is a carefully designed initiative which is led by the Bank of Ghana in collaboration with SEC and key knowledge partners from academia and industry. It is guided by two key policy objectives. First is to strengthen institutional capacity on virtual assets and enabling technologies, particularly blockchain, which is to support effective regulation, supervision, and policy formulation. The second objective is to promote nationwide awareness and the risks and implications of virtual assets in order to discourage uninformed usage and risky adoption. Ladies and gentlemen, an innovation in the virtual asset space continues to evolve. Education and awareness must remain central to our regulatory approach.
The National Virtual Assets Education Manual, which is being launched today, will contribute to that vision by providing a structured foundation for public education, policy dialogue, the stakeholder engagements. It will demystify virtual assets, clarify key concepts, highlight emerging use cases, and outline the legal and regulatory architecture, and also highlight the key risk considerations that must guide responsible adoption and usage. The National Virtual Asset Literacy Initiative reflects a commitment to promoting informed participation and financial literacy, supporting innovation within clear, predictable, and proportionate regulatory framework, encouraging collaboration among regulators such as Securities and Exchange Commission and Bank of Ghana, the industry, academia, and consumers.
Oswafo ohwe nnuane ene kwayo ensem so numunyamfo erikopoku ena wode nani akwakokyire mu ewokpon irrigation scheme renovation project eno eye mfidi a eboa akuafo wo ho wo munya nsuo edigu wo mo enobaye so eno ena wose wakache National Food Buffer Stock Company say wo mo enhwe na fe emo a wo mo ehia no madua na timi aboa na Ghana ye nnuane agya ne nan so no obetimi adeye de ama wo mo na wodwumadie no ase no esane se project no akansinsiemu no eno no de to contractor names enche aban no edisika beba se de bia adwumadie no ebeto aso.
Pond happened to be the biggest irrigation infrastructure in Ghana, and so this is where the attention must be. So we want to assure the farmers that government is with you. We want to provide that opportunity to make sure that you stay in production from January to December. So we're thinking about a strategy that will ensure unimpeded access to all agricultural equipment required for our farming activities. And then we came out with a farmer service center model. And that's how we are doing it. Under phase 1, we intend to cover 70 farmer service centers. In the centers, we are going to make available tractors, combine harvesters, tillers, plows, and all the other equipment that our farmers will need. And then we'll have a session where we'll keep the approved seeds for the farmers. We'll also have a session where we'll keep the fertilizers. Then we'll also have a session at the center where our farmers can go for training. If the market is not there, there is no motivation for anybody to go into that production. Unfortunately, in our case, our farmers have invested so much in production, they have produced so much, and they are not getting the market for their produce. This is disincentive to further production. And that is why, under the leadership of President John Dramani Mahama, some efforts are being made to solve the problem. We have made available some resources to the National Buffer Stock, Food Buffer Stock Company, for them to step into the market for the first time in our history to mop up the excess. The only challenge we are having now has to do with paddy, because buffer stock is not procuring paddy. They are procuring milled rice. And so we are now having some contracts with the millers. We want to empower the millers, make resources available to the millers for them to buy, do the milling, and then send to buffer stock.
We know we produce rice. Rice needs water, but we must also drain at the same time. And then the equipment for the drainage are not there. So sometimes scheduled maintenances cannot be done. And so we will beg Honorable Minister, I think in the Galamsey areas for now, they see a lot of excavators which are there. Please, we also heard that you gave pumps other agricultural areas. We will not need them because we have gravity here. What we need is excavators. Please, kindly allocate some to us. Allocate it to KIS, and then we are safe. I will assure you that when we have 2 excavators with us, their usual maintenance will do well, and farmers will be comfortable, and then they will produce. We will produce easily, drain off water, and then increase our productivity.
Abusuafo wani egusu ehwe UTV enwumre kase yeda ho abataw yeba yede ne aka nyina ebesom.
Adeshimama ya me ho akwa abayede mas papa se madam amoje bi twen yen ma ye twa ye ho eba ye to akase bo no eso ye call Dr. Brian Champon na so ye yenim se NPP amanyoko no aye nhyehyeye a oyi won kandifo ti twede amponyankopon ya adoma obepon busumi ewo mu ni de to so aduasa eba akosese se osese wonsa wuyi nefrim na wuyi ennafua no a eno na 31st na efrim anachese aka nnafua porepore enson Dr. Brian Champon se wabo anan ewo apoye mantamu wako asen manso akroso afi ofuase ayire bi woni adehye wo odan enansawom ene suhum edi nkomo ne okache wo mu nyina yetia wase omo ye delegate ewo NPP amanyoko nim omo kokromoti na ekasa na omo nkai no no de oba oni delegate ni nyina ene be ye adwuma
president no ofri suhum wodi anye kura da baby Timmy Mesre me ba me ye MP keke me di kai be fa T junction ha fi ha efa if bata enim ho ekufia me du fie na ehwo ayema boys usually say wo bomodin na wura gate no mu nko adia sekutu me koko a mesan abafi etsa abafi na se o mine to me no kuramia so mine to me kuramia na me befie na wo hia bibia we ya de be de ti ade Mr. Wa mentimi amano monko kanchire omama asama sa kasati nti me so there is no way say me win so home constituency there's no way bibia ni ho a obia betimi aye afa enim de ekoso na
ye beto ya papa no na video na se e wo party mu party na asumdwe ewo party na discipline ewo na so no ye gusu nyini e wo se discipline every na me hwe Dr. Brian Champon the background as military personnel ene fiase so born to the name be a otuto ni ade am hu ne say discipline ewo no mu say ene ye to abama na party discipline every woman discipline ever sign ababiem na Dr. Brian Champon obey minister kakra e wa kufuado abem minister of agriculture na mriti on here ni modern bo a boy e de wo asoye ho na bibia di adanse pepe se enye den ye nto ano so it is any penum na e kwa kansim de anya me nwanwa say Dr. Brian Champon e bitu ye okandinima MPP party na e beboa e
DVL CEO Ora Julius ni koi kote ena wase omode hihye egu akwan mu se de be ebetimi aboa womo eba bete asoya eba behwe na obe register o car nhihye foforo egu akwan mu eno eba behwe na wase yentimi ntenase ama ankrenkren dodo no a ena ebetwa number plate eno so sa no eba sa no a na eha adwen pa ntimpanyifo no ene hihye egu akwan se de be asa ha no nyina eto ebetwa.
We want to build what we call number plate embossment centers. So far, we are thinking of building like 6. These are the 6 we are planning of doing it. The northern regions will take 1. The middle belt will take 1. Greater Accra will take 1. Volta region and OT will take 1. Seshiri also and Central region will also, Takrade will also take 1. So that distribution of our number plates, our RFID chip embedded number plates can be done at these centers. Then it will be easier. The entire Nigeria, they have only one place where they emboss number plates. But when you come to Ghana, we have 154 companies embossing number plates all over. I was with Mr. Bona and the team at Pokwasi, and we saw one woman she's a little bit, she's an elderly woman who has placed number plates all over her store. So I went there and said, Madam, I want plates. I said, number no mommy. She doesn't know me. So I wrote the number for her and I said, when can I come for? I said, bra. I 300 cedis. Next day I went and she gave me the number. But how can we live in a country where 154 companies scattered all over are embossing number plates? We have to stop that era. The first day you get to know something is wrong, that day is the day of rectification. It is wrong. The document they produce out there is a security document. And not everyone is entitled to produce that. DVLA is the only institution that can produce that. And we have given it to you to produce. But you have abused it. It's been abused. Because sometimes you will see two cars having the same numbers. Sometimes a lot of the cars we have in the system, they've not paid duty, but they have number plates. There was an armed robbery case in Tema, and I was called midnight. I told you, boss, the number you are giving to me is a wrong number. So, chief, it's not. I said, boss, the number you are giving to me is a wrong number. He said it's not a wrong number. So, okay, come, Mr. Nafo. We all went into the system. The police, they brought a letter. Lo and behold, the number was not in our system. Because I know that when you see a number, that is 9,000 column, and it's CR. CR doesn't get to 9,000 in a year. So I told them it's the wrong number. And then they say A. I say, you are saying A. If you want to change, you're going to get people to come and fight us. Now you are saying A. Some of the cars, not most of them, but about 5 to 6% of cars in the system have not paid duty, and they are using the cars for all manner of things. Yoko right to us, national security right to us, police right to us, and we cannot. It's an embarrassment. It's an affront on the work of DVLA. So please, with all humility and things being done right, that system will change. Where anybody, anywhere in Ghana will have access to be embossing number plates for us, it will be a thing of the past. DVLA will now own the system, will now own the RFID system, and we will determine who will emboss for us. But we'll make the system very open. So if you are qualified, you are credible, you can be part of this embossment system. But it's not going to be that 155 controlled by 3-man show again.
Yenina yenim sese ona omai Ghana mu na se nipa bia bochenku di nkomo a enkomo no emu ba ko de efa NPP amanyeko ni nyame yadoma won prime minister edi wanima wo ba bekoyi mu na eno na UTV yamane boni Jesse Amankwa ene NPP amanyeko ne mani bi ni titu ni wo mu a ewo epoye mantam fam suhum edi nkomo na nkomo twetwe no emu no ena wo mu kire se wo mu NPP amanyeko no encheye na so sesei tumi kom ede won papa omunya ban won beko into omunu say 2028 general elections so bedi nkunimu a eja prime minister bekos into ma ye krado se nyame ya adoma 31st wo kokromotini de o de koto ayi kandini papa.
Soon constituency there we are prepared. So far we have about 871 delegates expected to take part in this exercise or constituency. So far we are giving Obia a coin Mobia in campaign. All the aspirants in Ababe share delegates. The biada no so far making aka say omo ma any honorable educhum kwana on share delegates no bi da o constituency no. But for that you can honorable Ken Ejapon ababe share, honorable Dr. Brian Champon so ababe share, His Excellency former Vice President Mahmoud Bamian so ababe share, and Kwame Ejapon so ababe share some of the delegates. It so far there we share the gameplay no asunjo ya select community center e ho na ye be to aba no e be just work you to aba na opi security system ni ade nyina no e da din so far there's no problem.
The new patriotic party say you pay to me now there say now no year 2008 His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Look, 2016, President Mahama was a sitting president. President Mahama elusi election. That was saying any sufura changing no. But Oman changing no. 2020, in the end, is the first time the President Mahama Babio. 2020, no, he did not win. Oman changing bio. Or the neighbor 2024. 2024 now, the President Kufuado Nkobio no. What's under the ban? We're winning. President Mahama now Nkofuso incompetent in the other. So Obano once so Atuamano. na 2024 election no obian to me nyina baby emfa blame no ma back for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So they ebe man safe win. I'm not going to dwell on percentages, but I'm telling you His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is going to win some constituency election massively.
Say some constituency there ya boy we for Bra Champion. We share Bra Champion campaign now. Only the only person or the campaign why then akofom Bra Champion campaign what from national what be our region or bet be our constituency from constituency to electoral area and so was to be a polling station till Bra Champion the only candidate make us say the campaign or the form in taken on bois born for this election papa and I said we have no the only pressure candidate I may say waiting a completely turn on time ya boy for the elections and I'm sure we are sure say every 31st no nyankopon ebe shebra champion enyonyam
this year no initially yes I just say either better abano sutesku and say vocation by outcome abasesi ya na kire say abano ye beto community center by honum so dem susu say ye to ahokire honum because honum no environment ni too closer e dey ahokire beba maka ya ka kire anase ye didi nkomo ya ka kire secretary so constituency secretary ono so akire ho report ko ni ameka kire kena chitaifo no nyina na say asi ahenefo no say yesre omo ye nyina MPP akonya na ato ya adwenkire ene adwentu ato a ye hwe do betima age akonya na fi NDC fo nsem ayen papa Kennedy akon preko Japan nti yesre delegate nyina say edu 31st no bia kwato aba na onhwe soro honom number 1
MPP amanyoko no ewo kono womo epewo bia obekura franka no ama womo na wodi wani echiremu ewa hafo mantamu a former council of state member na Baswa Ameyaw eno odi adesrede edi ato delegate ni nyina anim se ebra yedu no enkabom enehia se wo ye campaign a menkodu obi atem kan wasem enumom enehia kan asem a betimi aboa ma delegate agina so edi ato aba no ama
Yenina ati wo isi tie ne ekoso ne tetene de ne bibi e social media ene de ne aba se bibi ekoso wi ase bia wo fa fon a ene fon a ben so de metimi aka se percentage of the people nyina obi akura bi to be so na we tubo we na we tubo we na we tubo we enu nti ena media megishem se ya nyire ho ni an kan tira mum ni ehu se party ni nyina ya busua baako ade a ekwa ni nyina ne tumi ye kwa kope se man kam ho amomu a enye ye se ne mpanyfo kan se praye kura no uka bomu a ene huntimi mumu se wugyaagya ne nyina gu ho na so mu pepepe obebu ni nyina abato enye ntokwa eye kire wadwen na mesmen kire madwen mu nyina mu kire madwen ya ena delegacy ayen mo mutuma tumi se o monkonko eto aba no mbekwa akoto enne ni aga na aye obetumi disika aka se o de kwa akọ nanso minim se nipa ni bi ye ba gisika no eso ye beto aba na tia wo etini nyina se ye ba gina ye ka hu se aba ye koto no ye hwe obi a oba obegina mu yi aka se nipa e be yi na ba se oye ayi akanifo ma NDC no anase party bi a baba bia no obetumi agina mu ama 2028 ne se MPP ko bia nipa obekọ no obetumi awu ne tumi na ama MPP
aba nipa num no eyedan ya ba akopede yedan ebewe ne enti kakra me minima na mesre se party for be ye beboa se fie akunwa to na se abusua hia se yeyi ba ako a ye nyina ye behwem na ye de do ne ye die dodo no yedan ebepe no na enu achi no so no enye ntokwa because eye abusua ba ako na yedan ahia ye den ya so abako ne betimi adi yeso ti se baako ne betimi adi yeso na ye se ye pekoro ye pe odo ye pese 2028 ye pese ye timi ba power mesre esi ahenefo se ye mfa odo kasapa kasa ehote na ye mfa enante na ye mwa na ma ye nkoto aba no asomdwe mu
omunyina no bia be agents ipa ba kujina ho ahwa abato no so ye besere ye nwan mo mboko as agents no omuni nkre e ma party omu hwe individual bia party first sebse bi ukọ na bibi ensia enfre obi obonte ana emfa fom emfa obi nka se na esi abra nya nokre ene ya desa na bana se bi wo fre obi e won nkran ana se bi a region se obi a be se nipa ba kwa betu bi nu obi a we na ne di abra nya nokra nipa ni ho to no so ti ane ye de ya mbehye no ne gbofu ene ya desa basa na ye de eba nyina mpipifo ye koto ba nyina mpipifo ti besre yɛmfa no kɔdie yɛnhwɛ party no ane ansa na mfe nipa na ɔfa wo koraa no yɛaba no so
adehyeban ma yɛgyina wei so ne ato yɛgyadifo nkra baka sɛ ne yɛnwie yɛba nsɛm pii wakyiri Adesimama yema ye ho akwa abayida so egu ye kase ebo no eso na ye ko ensem emu ena me na okasen National Disaster Management Organization ye twaniti afra wo se nadmu ebo adehye binum ekokwa na mo bia wo mutu na nadmu emra no ema wo ho ekwan wo se wotena se esese ye no ba bia mpanifo nim se eye kwari wo mu papai aboa kese ewo ho wo magya asase ni bi di ato wo se na bia bambo ebetimi akofan na so adehye binum ankasa de won tumi etwitwa nsase no a ebembe bia ye payabo no nadmo pani wudu wo aso yan wono na wo ye Director of Inspectorate ewo National Disaster Management Organization Ora Richard Amo Late ono YTV nsentwofo abana ednani akohwe bebiasa anamon ekoso na wo se wudu ba bi te se asenoma so na afensa wo ma ne titiri pa ho na ekoso obo wo mokokọ se wo montwe wo emfiri wonya sa emra ewo ho
enya ntie bebre se eye bia ye frene quarry no so ye mining areas no amanfo bebia nsise omusidan amanfo ACC dan ese quarry ndwuma no enya ntie no Director General say two anamo ne be say nsam na ye tete no eye ne kura na ntie say yehu say nsam nyina ye ne kura na afi ye ne dwumaku a mo asede say mo hwe mines ne quarry ndwuma so no ye no mo atena se ne hu kwan be fa so se ne be ya sa encroachment na edi nipa nkwa etu esamu na esa edwuma ne eyi amafo no aduane no eyi mfiri ho ye de ni be wonu se bu se adan bebre ekoso ho sisi adan but ye hu se yesi adan no nche se ye betumi take any firm decision ye hu ti de ye hu no ese de koto penfonim na wo mo dwumede o so mo di fa ho no e no mo nyina tias tenase na hwe se de ye hu ye no ne papa mu na ne bonimu ti kwan ba ne be fa so na ye nyina ye hu otoye na ye tu sa na mo se na be obi an ho beto na at the end of the day assemblies wo mo na wotumi a for development wo be sidan wo be bibia wo bibia wotina o se wonya district assembly krata intina any assembly so betina se no no mo hwe so anankrofo wo mo esisi ade nyina na mo ma wo mo permit so mo sisi ade na wo mo ma wo mo permit what is the way forward there no mo ya fa to we nyina ye hye be ye ne edwumako nyina be ye na fe etu no mo but if you had there o say ye de na ye hu na san ko other quarry side de nyina to the Director General of the National Disaster Management Organization so no smile to the tune anymore now have a determine the way forward and say the other stakeholders since them say not when you two and among say you your dream will say into an among bay then fast with emra
DVL ejumoko no ene wafre ensenthrofo enhiemu eno ne nam so ma DVL CEO Ora Julius ni kwekọte ebo amane se ansa na ebeje Okada Riders atumu no womo ede womo be fantitie mu ne no achi no okache Okada Rider bia se wo se wotimi pekuo bi ejoin nse de ebeya asemba ye behu kwan a womo de womo ebefa so empo ye hwehwe wa ye nimse ye kokuo ho a ye behu ewo ho.
We went to Rwanda to understudy how they operate the commercialization of motor riding over there. And it will interest you to know that they all fall under cooperatives. So we are also doing we also register what we call cooperatives. And these cooperatives will be located at the district levels. So every Okada rider will identify himself, if they are ladies, herself, with the cooperatives. They will have their own unique jackets, their own helmets. They will go under rigorous training by our Skills Development Center. They go under rigorous training, day and night, 24 hours, rigorous training. When they finish, we can give them the licensing as a package. If we don't satisfy them, or if the system doesn't satisfy them, they don't qualify to be given the license. And then, please, I know we have freedom of association, but in convention we would like each and every Okada rider to be identified under a cooperative because of the insurance package the cooperatives are also going to lobby for. So when there's any accident, we know who must come in and who must help in terms of insurance issues. So the insurance companies too will be inviting you for a meeting when the time is due so that you can get involved with this.
Adeshemama woma eye iron rod e wo man Ghana hasen so e kasa se no kwasem odwani edi o man Ghana economy no achi na wo man Ghana de shati asese bibie no a echese ene wo betoto iron rod no bo no emu na no Minister for Trade and Industry Agribusiness e ko wo na so na nkomodidie emu no na United Television and Central for no hwan sansemi hu e de cheye
me frame no me de to manimu se matise mu to steel product mu na esan so ebi ni dwa so na mesrɛ mo sɛ eni ya mo ma still ni mra dwa so na mo ma bo no nso nyɛ saa efi sɛ obi ahu sɛ aban papa ya ba dollar no nso aye kama enti nka mo nhwɛ na ye bo no nkasa mo nso mu kyerɛ mo sɛ enye dollar ne nko mo wɔ nneɛma nkakra bi so ɛha mo a enu nti nka mo pɛsɛ mo tum me da mo ase sɛ me ne mo di nsa wɔ so yi mate maseɛ sɛ mo free hair kwa product ne bɛbɛ dwom esan so bio yentum na minim se eye sacrifice na mo ye ese economy no ye good na prices ye stable eno ne betimi aboa Ghana fo nyina enti yenso so de ebeye de aboa mo ama madwuma na ye kama bia mi General Excellency John Dramani Mahama na mu se mehwe ne ma ya ama mo se ebeye amo nso so madwuma no bekoso kama na Ghana fo nso so ehu aban papa ehu faso da bia me ka se Yera Mahama sa dollar ya wa na ba for me eye etu ho ache eye a lot of discipline ena etumi abasa na ye oye nyina oye ne se be ya Ghana fo timamufo ebenya ho mfaso na industry nso enya ho mfaso wanya amaba akofo enti minim se nti ase amate amami ebeboa ama economy na is stable, price are stable na nipa so etumi atomo nneoma no na se the medical ashamobo no nneoma so amosomo de atom anim se menhwe na menye mamo no bi Jaira na mu mehwe ma ani nyina kama se be ya ebo no enkoso hwihwi se de mebi atwam no wo be da so na ya tum anopa na ya tum awia na ya tum eno de yewura nhihye ya oye no ene ye no nko intimida mase
same prices what currently running and the supply will be also a lot still will be available into the market, and at the same time Honorable has assured us that she will also look into it, the challenges what we are facing with the steel industry to support so that we all can make our dream of Made in Ghana dream, continue taking it forward and forward. So here we want to acknowledge our cooperation all the time. Honorable, thank you very much for all the support you have been receiving from your good office, and thank you to receive us today as association.
Traders Advocacy Group Ghana and our more ediato abino and him says said chrome seche nansi traffic ahodo eche se ema 24 adwedifo wono wapon ekofie ho echire womono womo se omo ka kire abino se keteke no wonhwe nya ho bibi emfa mo kwan ahodo no a asese nso wonye baabi nso a wotwa bitu ebeboa no so wonye afensu so yenhwe se nsuo nso yebepe kwan ato se de be a sa hawo ni nyina etu betwa ne bra twotwofo ema Traders Advocacy Group Ghana Ura Nana Poku Ekasa yenti afofo odeto aso.
Traders Advocacy Group Ghana ye helpa kese eye ye kasa aban eye asobrache. Yen suggestion bako on a government push project na obeye no aye sa Accra Kumasi highway no ye best rempenifo omonfa high speed railway line enka na enkoye se ka nko a if is a project no mo ye na mo ye ni nyina bomu a emma inconveniences ni nyina e solve one time and a save cost and penifo we've been making these calls to you you who is still no mo show ade no kra na mo aye se monte ye besram Move high speed railway and go. Some of them want to be in Yakrana. Mama private partnership will be no super far dark line. So pesa sumdwe bakruma eye aduane ka nipa befa ana afi ni nayim sane mam yensen sa aban mutimi takela eno ena bema national security aya assured na nya ena economy ya yadu sei ombeto beti amomoro ebe ho se onya ba bi na onya aduane ni kan so obefo de akokrom eya asemma no a ede ani breba ebio ye encourage aban on a private partnership corporation. Ye be stress aban ni miem na wo mu a ebetimi ede niema ebeboa akwantusam ti se efri tema ekota krade ebetimi anya subonto bi a ebesi so a ebefa nipa e safe edu o mako ebi be sika so ebi betimi esi Cape Coast Winneba Alimina ni ekwa kopim. So all these alternatives we can exploit. Iti yebesra ban. Yenhwe na sebeya ahoto ebe bagana for so. Because a Ghana for nya asumdwe a, musu mu benya asumdwe. Na se Ghana for ni asumdwe a, munya bida. Sani ema we nyina ma yarewa eni adwendwen eni niema bibrebe eha timamofo no. Eni o man ni mpuntuo eni ne nhyehyɛ. Iti munhwe na muni hu dwuma.
Adeshima na montintin bia na ya na ewie wa abobo ano ha na de kase no ACM Fansidan Farmer President wo madam adre wodwa so ye 2 years no eye kama ya kakan wani kakra kan ne body tree no ye de bidie kan wo sa ne ye boro ne ye tibide mu ana de twi wosi a na ye boa papa enei bebi etititi adaje wo hemfa ye kofa bidie enti President wo de bidie no aye adre de twi years kama etimi so ya no waje bi nkoda de twi ye pani de twi ye wo se chinkanka no na yi ni nyina kama ema pampan ya ehwam ebe wonum na agina bedwam na wo sere a osere sa wo brekra wo mbre ho kra wadamenti ni etimi chance de kase no eba wo yem Fansidan enfama bina functions e wo taifa wadamenti eneja wo share atade kama kama yi atade bia wo hia bia wo bina functions e kasa e wo 0277 444893 0277444893 bina functions e wo taifa o map ne so a e bina in enterprise obehwe na wasom ye opese makafo a yesomo enne onyejube eyeme nana ama anotifo enafeli
mame akosia etona yadamase amammo enihye yakrabo